Guys, how we doing? I'm Ryan Mack. Welcome back to Trading, guys. Today we're going to cover fundamentals as always. What I'm going to do is, at the end of fundamentals, I'm going to come back over here to technical analysis, right? Now, in all honesty, most pairs aren't looking, really tasty right now on the higher time frames like the daily or the weekly. So what I'm going to do is, what I'm going to do is, we're going to cover the technical analysis. We'll have a look at the higher time frames, the weekly, the daily, blah, 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 and just see how choppy and horrible and messy they are, right? But then I'm going to show you, look, if you look at the higher time frames and you don't really see much, you can then jump down to the lower time frames, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, and see if there's anything that you could, have a couple of picks at. Not the best, but I'm going to show you that this strategy, this edge, this technique, whatever you want to call it, it works on all time frames, okay? And we're going to cover that after the fundamentals. When it comes to oil, I know some of you just want to know about oil, so let's just cover that first. Remember, oil is closely pegged. Sorry, the Canadian dollar is closely pegged to oil. So if oil's doing well, the Canadian dollar will do well. And look, there's been people in my DMs that aren't part of the group or anything, but they've been in my DMs on Discord, and they're like, yeah, I'm in a buy right now. So, I mean, look, you can buy from here to here, right? It does work. If you bought from here to here, it's a little bit risky. If you bought from here to here, you can do it. But look, it's a downtrend, guys, right? One of the best little terms, I can't remember if I said it last week, but look, one of the best little terms is, if you're looking like this, that's fine if you want to zoom in and be more precise when you're about to enter. But one of the best terms that I've heard in a long time was, if in doubt, zoom out. If you are in doubt, is it a downtrend, is it an uptrend? If in doubt, fucking zoom out. Look, and it is such a good thing to utilize, because then you're like, look, it's clearly a fucking downtrend. It's not an uptrend. So does that mean that you can't take buys? No, it doesn't. It just means that buys are counter trend trades. So in my opinion, there's so many people that do trading. We all have different opinions, and it doesn't mean that someone's right or someone's wrong, because you need a lot of context. Maybe I'll have an opinion on something and be like, some guy will be like, well, that's wrong. Well, it's not wrong. It's because you're a scalper, so you're looking at it in a different way, right? So, and I'm a swing trader, so I'll be looking at it from a different angle. So we're actually both right, potentially, in terms of how we view it, but it's because we view it in a different manner, and that's perfectly normal, all right? You'll see some people online fucking bashing other people, well, this is shit or that shit. Well, it's not. You need context. Maybe what the guy's saying is absolutely right, but it's just the opposite of what you're saying, because you're looking at it from a different angle, right? So, for me, my view on trading, and I think, well, this is the whole point in trading, regardless of which method you use, scalp, day, swing, whatever, the whole point in trading is to try and take the best setups with the highest probability of giving you a return with the lowest probability of risk, right? It's never going to be risk-free, until you move to risk-free, break even, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about, the risk itself, the trade itself, sorry, you have to take a risk initially in order to potentially make money, right? So you're always trying to pick the best setup, whether it's scalps, days, swing, position trading, whatever it is. The point in trading in itself is you're trying to pick the best setup, which is going to offer you the highest probability of giving you a return, i.e. making you money, with the lowest probability of risk. Now, you can take counter trend trades. However, you have to remember, when you take a counter trend trade, a trade which is going against the trend, a trade which is going against fundamentals, what you're doing is you're flipping them around. You are then choosing to take a trade which offers you the lowest possibility of a return on money, i.e. the lowest probability of making money, with the highest possible risk. So you're fucking flipping that, the whole point in trading, around in itself. You're taking a trade which has a very high risk of going against you with a very low probability of you making money. Can you take it? Yes, you can. But I just don't take them. I just choose not to take counter trend trades. And I actually found by taking less trades but taking better trades, you end up making more money, right? In the long run. So yeah, let's get cracking, guys. So as always, get your notepads out. You're going to write just make a fresh line. You're going to write at the top of your notepad, currency strength, currency strengths. Then you're going to write below that strong, weak, and neutral in that order. Okay, not strong, neutral, and weak. Strong, weak, and then neutral. Strong, weak, and then neutral. All right. And the reason why we do that, if this is your first time watching my videos, is that once we find out which economies are strong, which are neutral, and which are weak, what we do is we ignore the neutral ones. We then line up a strong economy with a weak economy. So that gives you your reason for entering a trade, right? If you draw one of these fucking lines on your page and the candle breaks that and you're like, oh, I'm going to enter buys. Why? Because the fucking... The market broke the stupid fucking line I just drew on my page. That's not a reason to enter the trade. Now, we all draw stupid fucking lines on the page because they do have a purpose, right? They can highlight areas of potential entry to a trade. Yes, it's essential. Technical analysis is absolutely fucking essential. If you're a scalp trader, price action is essential, right? But the technical analysis side, my point is drawing a line here and waiting for the market to break above it and say, oh, I'm entering buys now. Why? Because a candle has ended bullish above this fucking stupid line that I've just drawn. That's not a reason to take the trade. That's fucking retarded. It could be a potential reason for your entry if you were looking, you know, for buys in this example, but, you know, you're looking for sells. It's a downtrend. So you'd be looking at that. You'd be waiting for this candle to break the bottom here and then potentially entering. If you miss it, you're just waiting for it to come back up. Look, small candle, large engulfing, broke away, comes back for the retest, and away you go, right? That's what you're waiting for. Same again here. Small candle, large engulfing, area of support. Once the previous support is broken, it becomes the area of resistance. Bish, bash, bosh, right? Stop loss above here. So that gives you the reason to enter, right? If you work out which economy is strong, which is weak, which is neutral, that's how you know your reason. Sorry, I fucking got so much in my mind. That's how you know your reason for entering the trade, right? Am I going to be taking buys or am I going to be taking sells? And with one being strong and one being weak, that will give you that uptrend or it will give you a downtrend. If you try to trade a weak economy with a neutral economy, yes, you can trade it, but look, you're going to get something shitty like this, right? You're going to get something shitty like this kind of mess here, right? You're not going to get that solid downtrend. You're going to get, yeah, you're going to get this type of shit, right? If it's a weak against neutral, or strong against neutral, or neutral against neutral, weak against weak, strong against strong, you're just going to get a range, right? So if you have a strong against a weak, that's what gives you a downtrend or an uptrend, all right? And it gives you a reason as to why you're taking the trade. So oil, sorry, let me just cover oil quickly again. So oil is 1,000,000% bearish, guys. However, you can't sell it from here, right? You really need it to either come back up, retest here, and drop, or you need it to break below that. You need it to break away, come back up, retest here, enter here, and then away you go, bang, right? Or, you know, you either need it to come here, 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 or you need it to go like that, break above, sorry, happened there. You need it to break above, retest here, boom, 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 right? There's so many different things that could happen. You just have to watch it and see what it does. But that's it, okay? Now, for fundamentals, of course, we always use Forex Factory for doing the weekly review. During the week, however, when I'm waiting for the fundamental data to kick in, what I actually use is this, Trading Economics. It's 1,000,000 times better than Forex Factor. Okay, you've got tons of information here. You can even go to news, markets, forecasts. You can choose. It's really good because I like choosing commodities, and I like to see, like, if I'm thinking to myself, oh, maybe I'll sell copper. Then you look at the details in copper and commodities, and you can see the whole fucking written plan for the world. It's like, copper's actually scheduled to go up over the next couple of years. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to wait for it to pull back to a good area of value, and then I'm going to enter the buy, right? So it's really good for stuff like that, keeping you on the right track. Now, Look, I love making these videos for you guys, and as we can see here, someone actually commented last week, and it's got 57 likes. Here it is. Maximize your Forex. See these titles, guys? They're just fucking clickbait stuff that vidIQ generates, right? I don't think of this bullshit. However, it's good because you get to watch it, right? But look, this comment here has got 57 likes. The guy has wrote, "This guide made the weekly analysis feel more approachable. Honestly, I tried it on the XNES platform today, and things lined up better than usual, which kinda helped keep my entries cleaner during the session." Fucking fantastic, mate. And like I was saying, look, fundamentals give you that reason why you're taking the trade. Many of you are like, should I take it? And you look at a pair and you'll be like, if you're in a trading group, maybe one of the guys in the group's taking sells on GJ and you're taking buys, and then you're second guessing yourself like, fuck, how do I know if I'm taking a buy or if I should be taking a sell? How do I know if he's right or I'm wrong? And the thing is, this right here, guys, is how you know. Fundamentals, data, information. This is what banks do. A banker doesn't draw a fucking line in his page and say, oh, if a candle breaks the line that I've just drawn on my page, that's going to be my reason for dropping 5 billion into this trade. Does he? Fuck. He's not a maniac. He looks at data. He's like, okay, this is just an example. GBP, CPI increase, PPI increase, average earnings increase, credit card payments increase, housing fucking approvals slightly decreased, employment increased, unemployment decreased. It's like fucking fantastic. The pound is strong. You go to Japanese yen, fucking machine tool orders down, CPI down, PPI down, manufacturing PMI down, services PMI down, employment down, unemployment up, average earnings down. So you're like, fucking hell, the Japanese economy is fucked. It's weak. So if you now have this information in front of you from the fundamentals, you can now look at GJ and go like that. British economy strong, Japanese economy weak. What does that mean? That means I'm looking to buy GJ. That's it. It's that fucking simple. And there's more to it, like when you start to include central bank rates and so on, but that's for another time. I've already covered it in my first videos and a couple, but I'll leave that for another time because it's quite a little bit long-winded. Okay, so moving on, guys. What we do is we come to filter here, and you can see I always do each economy / currency on their own, right? Apart from Aussie, China, and New Zealand. The reason for that is they're all closely correlated, and it's positively correlated. So if China's doing well, Aussie and New Zealand generally do well, especially Aussie. New Zealand a little bit, but especially Aussie does well, right? Excuse me. If China's not doing well, then Aussie and New Zealand won't be doing well either, okay? What date are we on here? 23rd? Excuse me. Okay, so I want to look at the last week. Hey, let's see what we've got here. So when it comes to services, whether it's manufacturing services, business services, what's the other one? I forgot. Manufacturing services and something else, PMI, etc. Right? The very easy way to look at this: if it's above 50, it's bullish. If it's below 50, it's bearish. That's it. Don't look at this at being 48.3. See that it's increased to 48.7 and say, oh, that must be bullish because it's increased. No, it's not. It's getting better. It's showing you that things are getting slightly better in that field at the moment, but I mean, it's not very strong, but it's getting slightly better. However, as long as that remains below 50, it's bearish, okay? When it goes above 50, it's bullish. FPI month on month, it's still minus, getting a little bit better, but still minus 3. GDT price index, getting worse, so it's bearish. Bearish. PPI input, it's the same. Yeah, and it didn't increase as they thought, so that's not good. MI leading index, wage price increase the same. Loan rate same. Bearish, bullish. So credit card spending Why, if credit card spending goes up, why is that bullish? Well, it's because people are essentially spending more money. Doesn't really matter if it's money that, on credit or if it's money of theirs. The fact is, if they're spending more money on credit cards, it means they're buying more shit within their country. If they're buying more shit within their country, they're stimulating that economy, and therefore it's a boost for that economy, okay? Aussie, doing quite well. This week, what we got coming up, we've got CPI year on year coming up. We definitely want to see that. Rate statement. So have a look here. Look, New Zealand official cash rate. They're potentially going to cut the rate by 25 base points, right? Or 0.25 base points. Now, people across the industry will always think that, they'll just look at this, right? And they'll be like, right, if they're going to cut rates, that's negative. It's not always negative, right? And I'm going to explain the scenarios where it is a negative. So, you can see here that the previous was 2.50. They're now forecast a rate cut of 2.25%. That means it's already priced in. Banks and hedge funds and so on, corporations, they've already included the fact that New Zealand is going to have a rate cut fucking last month or 6 weeks ago. They're trying to predict the future, right? They're more ballsy than us because they're trying to predict the future. Now, this week coming up, if this does drop, if this data comes in, right, and you see here where it says actual, and it does in fact drop to 2.25, you probably won't even see the market budge at all, right? It won't move at all, or if it does, it'll kind of be up, then down, and it'll just kind of hover around, and it won't really do fuck all, right? The reason for that is it's already priced in. Now, if it gets to next Wednesday, and this data is released, and the actual number drops to 2.00 instead of 2.25, yes, that's a shock to the system. That's something that the market wasn't anticipating. So it's like, oh, fuck. That will then give you a negative effect. That will then, you start to see, NZD being bearish, okay? That will have a shock effect. It won't be a long-lasting one, but you maybe get a couple of candles out of it, right? Where it has a negative effect. You might see it spike up, and then it'll go bang, bang, bang. So it'll spike up for the liquidity grab, and then it'll start coming down because it's a shock to the system, right? It's a surprise. People weren't expecting it. And that's why a drop at that point would give you a negative effect, right? But if this comes in as expected at 2.25, you're probably not going to see any real move in the market because it's already been done, right? It's already happened. Retail sales quarter on quarter, it's expected to be up. Core retail sales quarter on quarter expected to be up. Well, I mean, that's true, but you have to remember now, see when it says retail sales going up, you're like, oh, well, that's good. Yes, it is good, but where are we at this point in time, in the year? We're a week away from December, guys. So what does that mean? You have to think outside the box here. Don't just look at this. You have to think, what does it all mean? Well, we're coming up to Christmas. We're on the run up to Christmas. So, of course, we expect retail sales across the world pretty much, apart from, we don't really follow any Muslim countries on, in Forex. So essentially all around the world, we really are anticipating that we expect to see retail sales going up through the roof. We expect to see credit card spending going up through the roof, and so on and so forth, right? Because people are going to be buying shit for Christmas. And that's why we'd want to see that. Sorry, I'm just going to top up my tea. This is yerba mate. This is that Argentinian tea. It's brilliant. Anyway, so we expect to see all this going up, right? And as core retail sales go up and blah, 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 it's all going to be good. You'd potentially expect to see maybe manufacturing increasing in China when it comes to like toys and all this kind of shit, But yeah, let's see what happens. So, in terms of currency strengths, I have got AUD. I'm going to keep in neutral right now, and I'm kind of anticipating it getting a bit of negative news when it comes to mortgages and bank rates and all this, but it hasn't happened yet, so let's just wait and see. The point is, AUD neutral, okay? It's not moving from neutral. It's neither strong, neither weak. You're getting some good data, but it's like, nothing's very clear, right? It's kind of hanging by a thread. In neutral, I'm also going to put Swiss franc in here, CHF. I know we haven't covered it there, but if you've ever watched my previous videos, you'll know Swiss franc, we never ever trade it based on data, right? Because the data never really changes, and if it does, it doesn't make an effect on the market. Swiss franc gets traded based upon market sentiment. Are we in a risk on sentiment, which is 98% of the time in the market, or are we in risk off sentiment, which is 2% of the time? Risk off sentiment happens when a new war kicks off. So let's say, for example, you're seeing all this jihadi shit in Nigeria right now, in Sudan and all that, where all the radical Islamists are killing Christians and all this. So if America decides to go in and fucking deliver some freedom to Nigeria and Sudan, well, you'll see that the market will instantly move into a risk off, right? So if it's risk off, you want to be buying CHF, you want to be buying Japanese yen, you want to be buying gold, you want to be buying NZD, because these are all risk off assets, okay? If then that will only last a short time, maybe a week or so, and then markets will go back to being risk on, then you want to get rid of your CHF, you want to get rid of your Japanese yen, and sell them, blah, 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 okay? So risk on, you want to be selling the likes of Japanese yen, Swiss franc, NZD. You need other fundamentals as well, but this is during this. I'm just talking about market sentiment. And then for risk off, you want to be buying CHF, buying Japanese yen, buying NZD, buying gold. Okay, and that's why. So CHF is always neutral for me because I only trade it when the market sentiment changes. All right. What else have we got here? NZD, that is weak. NZD, that is weak. And of course, we don't trade China, right? We only have it on here because if Chinese manufacturing goes up and everything else goes up in China, Aussie will also go up. And it's because if manufacturing goes up, China needs to buy more what? They need to buy more, of the foundational stuff, i.e. iron, lead, zinc, copper, blah, blah, blah. And they buy all of that from fucking Australia, essentially, because it's a huge mining country. So that's the reason why. If China's doing well and their manufacturing and production and everything increases, you can bet your fucking year's salary on it. That will roll over into Australia, and Australia production, manufacturing, services, it will all start to increase as a knock-on effect from China, okay? Now, let's smash through this. That one always takes the longest. I know you're looking at the time thinking, fucking hell, this guy's been talking for 22 minutes. It always takes the longest because we're doing 3 currencies. Now that we're doing one by one, it goes faster, all right? So let's have a look. Canada, I already know that's weak because, this never changes. They're just in the real hurt locker right now. CPI month on month, it's increased, so that's all right, but it's month on month, we don't care. Median CPI year on year has dropped. That's the one we care about. Why? Because we are swing traders. It gives you a real picture. Is the economy growing over the year or is it shrinking? This will tell you, this month it's growing, but it's false. It just got better this month. But look, year on year, the economy's really dropping, right? Trim CPI dropped. Common CPI still the same. It hasn't changed, but it's still shit, and it didn't increase like they anticipated, right? Housing stats, not very good. IPPIM, I think that's mortgages and stuff, has slightly increased. That's good news, but it's only month on month, remember? So it's just like, it had a good month, whoopie-doo, Month on month again. Well, look at this here. See, it's green. It's still not, that's not bullish, okay? The reason why it's green is because if you look at the previous, it was 1.7, now it's 1.6. So you'd be like, well, why isn't it red? Well, it's not red because they forecast it to come in at 0.6. They thought it would come in much worse than what it did, okay? And it came in better than forecast. That's why Forex Factory makes it green. Don't just look at the colour and think, oh, it must be green, that must be bullish. No, it's not. It's bearish. Why? Because previously, it was 1.7. Now, it's 1.6, so it's gotten worse, okay? Core retail sales month on month, 0.8%, now 0.2. Again, don't be fooled that that's fucking green and think, oh, that must be bullish. No. It was previously 0.8. It's now 0.2. That's worse. That's taken a tanking. It's green because they thought it was going to go to minus 0.5, but it didn't. It came in at minus 0.2. It's came in better than they forecast, so that's why Forex Factory's made it green. I hate when Forex Factory does that because it confuses a lot of people. Just look at the previous 0.8, now 0.2. Is that more or is it less? It's less. It's went down, so that's bearish. Okay, that's negative for the currency. Retail sales month on month dropped again. NHPI month on month dropped again. So Canada's shit. And oil is going down. So Canada's just got no hope right now. And I believe, excuse me, I believe their prime minister already gave them like a speech saying, yeah, prepare for like to be living like this for quite some time. The economy's fucked, and you're just gonna have to get used to it, you know. GDP, we don't corporate profits, nah. Current account, we don't really have much next week. Okay, so Canadian dollar remains in weak. Moving on, what we got next? CHF, we don't look at that because it's pointless. Euro. Current account is very strong in the euro. Final core CPI year on year, stagnant, but it's still resilient, right? So it's not weak. So that's classed as bullish and bullish because it's strong. It's being resilient, and that's year on year. So it's a solid, right? It's solid. German PPI month on month has increased. Flash manufacturing PMI. For France, we don't really care because France isn't a manufacturing country, right? France is a services providing country, so bearish, bullish. Germany is a manufacturing country, so we really want to be seeing that above 50, which it's not, so that's bearish. Flash services. Now, it's weird. Germany isn't really a services providing country, and it's at 52.7. That's bullish. So that there is what you call mixed data. Look, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. That's just mixed data, so it's very confused, you know. Overall, the euro's doing well. They've got their inflation down. If you look across here at 2.15, which is fucking fantastic. They managed to get it down from like 4.25% down to 2.15% without crashing their economy, which is fucking great, right? That's the whole goal. What the fuck have I done there? Okay. This week we have, what news we got coming up? CPI, sales, import prices, private loans, CPI, GDP, CPI. We've got a couple of bits of news that we want to see, all right? I've got euro in strong. It's kind of looking a little bit as if it's wishy-washy, you know, potentially neutral for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it in strong for now, because I don't move currencies across unless I see a good couple of weeks of the same stuff, right? Because it could just be that they just had a shitty week, and that's all it is. Overall, the economy is quite strong, right? So I don't really see the point in changing that just now. Moving on, let's do this. GBP. Bearish. Bearish again. Don't be fooled that that's green. Look, it came in better than forecast, so that's why it's green. But it was previously 3.8, so that's bearish. The economy's shrinking, not growing. That's bearish. 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 Stagnant at 0. Bearish. RPI. Bearish. 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 Bullish. Bullish. Okay, so yeah, I will be moving because pound's been shit for a couple of weeks now. I will now be moving pound. I had that previously. Where did I have it? Oh, I had it in neutral. Maybe it can remain in neutral. Sorry, I thought I had it in strong there. I've got it in neutral. I'm going to keep it in neutral for now. GBP. I'm going to keep it in neutral, all right. But I will bear in mind that it's neutral for now, more aiming towards the side of going bearish. Why is that? Because things are getting really shit in the British economy right now. We have got tons and tons and tons of illegal immigrants. We've got the left against the right. And then they're just trying to change this narrative where everyone has a huge problem with illegal immigrants, and quite rightly so. They're fucking raping people on a daily basis. They're stabbing people on a daily basis. They're robbing houses on a daily basis. It's fucking crazy. You can't open a Christmas market now because they've got fucking jihadis. It's just absolutely nuts. But people are then turning that around, that story around, and making out that it's about immigrants as if it's racial. It's not about immigrants. People love immigrants in the UK. The UK needs immigrants. I'm a fucking immigrant, and that's actually part of my point. for me to get my permanent residency visa in Indonesia, I had to provide a full criminal background fucking check from the UK. I then had to get a criminal background check in Indonesia to make sure that for the couple of years that I was here on a business visa, that I hadn't done anything wrong while I was here. Do you know what I mean? And that's perfectly fine. That's the way it should be, bringing safe people across. Nobody has any problems in the UK or anywhere else in Europe with legal immigrants. They're perfectly fucking fine. They're hardworking people. They just want a better life. They pay taxes. They obey the law. That's fine. People have a problem with illegal immigrants who are unvetted, unchecked, highly fucking dangerous, you know, pedophiles, raping kids in mosques and all sorts. It's fucking crazy right now. So, the UK is uninvestable. It's a third world fucking shithole. It's uninvestable. I watched a finance thing the other day, right, and the guy gave a perfect example. Wait to hear this. Excuse me. Someone said to him, he was a big investor, and he says, is the UK investable or uninvestable? And he said, it is completely uninvestable. And they said, why? And he didn't give the reasons that I've just given you. He actually says, I think there's a motorway down in England. I think it's called the M8, or is it the M18 or some shit? I can't remember it right. Anyway, there's this main big motorway down in Scotland, down in England. And it's a single carriageway, right? And they want to make that, for 18 miles of it, they want to turn it into a dual carriageway. Maybe it's the M6. It's a single carriageway, right? And they want to double it. They want to put another lane in there and make it a dual carriageway for an 18-mile section of the road, right? That's going to take the UK government, in their plan, 30 fucking years to complete that. 30 years. And he's saying that if the UK government let me do that job, if they gave me that contract, I could have that job done in 9 months. It's a 9-month fucking job. So for as long as it takes the UK 30 years to complete a 9-month task, it is unfucking investable. And I thought, well, that was fantastic, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So we have to bear that in mind, that the UK is in the hurt locker, and I only see it getting worse, all right? So for now, I'm keeping it in neutral, but that's me being very fucking generous. I will be putting it into weak shortly. I'm going to have it in my mind right now that it is potentially weak against certain other currencies. Maybe like Swiss franc, you know, maybe it would be weak against the Swiss franc for sure. And in fact, let's just have a look. GBP CHF, let's have a look. So there we go, look. It is. So I would be looking, let's just see. So look, you can't take a sell on this just now, right? And yes, this is potentially going to come up. Small candle, large engulfing, small candle, large engulfing. What you're going to do, you're going to take your Fibonacci. You're going to run that motherfucker down. Look at this. We've got here the 50 and the 786 is up here. 618 is right here. That's the one that I always fancy, right? So what is the Fibonacci? It's just a tool that you use to show you where areas of value are. These are value. This is very low shitty value. This is okay. All right, I'll take it value. This is very good value. This is fantastic value. This is phenomenal value. That's what the Fibonacci is, okay? So right there, without even doing it, this is what I'm looking for. Bish, bash, bosh. I will take this trade when it hits here. If the UK gets really fucking bad, guys, then you could be... Wait, I'm going to move this down just so it's a bit more clear. Then you could be looking at this. Bish, bash, bosh, right? I would take the sell from here or take the sell from here. That's it. That's all you're looking for. And this is how you kind of use data and what's going on around the world to predict your trades, right? And that's it. I don't need to sit here every day of my life wasting my time looking at the charts like, oh, come on, come on, come on. You can just come here and you can just set a fucking alert. There we go. When that hits there, I now know to look. Put it about there. There we go. I can set another alert. There we go. Right here. So when that comes up, I'm going to be waiting for that. That is it. Okay? Simple as that, guys. Yeah. So if pound comes in weak again next week, Well, I mean, there's no real news next week. Sorry, let's just see the week after. Have a quick look. Yeah, if this all comes in 2 weeks from now, right, the 30th of November to the 6th of December, I will then move pound into the week category, okay? And that's how we're going to roll it. So pound, yeah, neutral. Let's have a look. Japanese yen, we've got 2 more to do. Japanese yen and USD, guys, and that is us done, all right? Then we can look at the technical analysis if you want. Where am I? Okay. Bearish, bearish, bullish, 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 bearish, okay? Moderate news, meh. We just know that the Japanese economy is fucked, so it's staying in weak. It'll be weak for a long time. Moving on, that was easy. USD. Right. Just flight. There's always tons here. Bullish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bullish. All these unemployment claims are coming in because there was a government shutdown, remember? So they're releasing all the data from previously. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish. It's getting better. Still bearish, but getting better. Bullish, 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 bearish. Okay, so it's very mixed data. Very mixed data. However, the US is still, overall, it's still a fucking powerhouse right now. So I'm actually going to keep it in strong for now. But in my mind, it's going to be one of those strongs that's in between strong and neutral, right? But I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, keeping it in strong, because it is still a powerhouse and it does still hold the cards at the moment. The S&P, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the indices, the dollar index. Look, see? Bullish. Boom. Now, it could reject here and start melting back down. I don't see it. Or it could break above, come back down, and then we could be in for a long period of, bullishness, right? So this is actually quite an important week coming up where it could reject here, start melting all the way down again, or come down to here, retest, reject, and then go, okay? So let's see what happens. This week coming up, we've got tons of news we want to see, and I believe, is it? No, it's not NFP week, okay. Next week is NFP. The first Friday of every month is NFP, right? So we've got core PPI, core retail sales, PPI, retail sales, HPI, S&C, pending homes, blah, 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 unemployment claims, prelim GDP, core PCE. We've got tons of news next week that we want to see, okay? So just bear that in mind. Right, that's us in terms of currencies. Okay, so let me just run that by you again. So strong, I've got Euro and USD. So remember, USD is kind of strong to neutral, and Euro is kind of strong to neutral. Euro's more neutral, I would say, than it is strong. I'm just simply giving it the benefit of the doubt because it is holding the fort, right, as of yet. But if I do see more negative news over the next week or two, I will then move a transition Euro across to neutral, okay? Week, I've got NZD, CAD, and Japanese yen. NZD, CAD, Japanese yen. Neutral, I've got AUD, CHF, GBP. That's AUD, Aussie dollar, CHF, Swiss franc, GBP, pound sterling are all neutral, okay? And I will be moving pound to week shortly. See? So this is a good week coming up. It's either going to come here, reject, and start pushing up, or it's going to become weak, push down here. Boom, boom, all right? So, and look, you've got this here. You've got this area right here, right? So look, what it could do is, it could go like that. Bish, bash, bosh, boom, right? So bear that in mind as well. don't get caught in, oh, it's rejected here, it's going to fly, because it might just come up here, reject there, and then go, right? So you can base that on fundamentals. So let's have a look here what we've got. What time frame? I'm on the weekly time frame. Right, let's move down. I'm going to get rid of this shit. Hold on. So AUD, AUD CAD, right? We could potentially, yeah, it is looking better than CAD, so I would be looking for buys. Let's look on the daily. Oh, look at that, look, there we go. Bang, in a beautiful area of, take it rid of that, of value. Beautiful area of value. Now, I actually explained this in my last video on YouTube. I done it during the week. It was a kind of midweek one. Now, here you've got your area of value, right? And perfect fair entry. You've got your rejection, fantastic rejection. Now, what I'm actually waiting for is I want to either see this up, come back down, reject, entry here, and then away we go, right? Or when you're looking at the charts, it's not just about what can I see, right? I can see rejection, I can see rejection in my marked up area of value, but it's also about what you can't see, right? So if you're looking at this and you're like, what can't I see here, right? Think about it for a second. What can you not see here? You can't see a liquidity grab. There's no liquidity grab here. There's always rejection. What does that mean? Anyone who's entered trades here, what have they done? They've put their stop losses here. They've put stop losses here. They've put stop losses here. They've put stop losses here. So what is that? That is liquidity. That's a huge potential pool of liquidity there, right? So what you'll be looking to see is pull up, fucking rip it back down, some stupid news move, and then rip it back up, bounce around again, and then away we go. Right? So I'm potentially waiting to... Why I'm not entering this here is I'm waiting to see if there's a liquidity grab, because we still haven't had one in a long time, so there could be a huge amount of liquidity here. We've got a small candle, large engulfing, absolutely fantastic. Now, if we don't get that liquidity grab, all I'm waiting for in the lower time frames... See this here, look, small candle, large engulfing. So all I'm waiting to see in the smaller time frames is this. It's very simple. Now that's a potential area of rejection, right? Boom, you could potentially see that. Or I'm waiting to see this. Break above here, this area here, break above, come back down, retest this area here. I'm going to enter the market. I'm going to enter here, put my stop loss below here, and away we go. All right, that's it. It's that fucking simple, guys. When you use logic, data, information, and you block out emotion. Oh, fuck, have I missed the trade? Oh, should I get in here? Oh, should I do that? Just pause, take your time, use your logical thinking brain, and just say, what do I see on here? And also, what can't I see on here? Well, I can't see a liquidity grab, which means there's a huge amount of liquidity here, which means there's potential going to pull back, whip all that liquidity, and then fly off. Okay, so let's see. As you can see, look, there's fuck all here, guys. I'm not even going to waste my time looking at that. There's nothing there. What are we on? AUD, Japanese yen. I'd say that's buys. You just can't buy from here. Never, ever buy into an area like this, right? An area of rejection. Never buy into it. You're either waiting for it to pull down here, retest, reject, and then go, an area of value, and then you could enter it. Or you need it to, if it's not going to pull back down, you need it to break above here clearly, break above here, come back down, retest, and then go. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Fucking mess, right? This is what happens, excuse me, when you get two economies which are fairly neck and neck in terms of strength, right? You just get this horrible range for fucking months. Euro CAD. Euro stronger than CAD, you get an uptrend, right? When the euro is more powerful than the CAD, you will get an uptrend. If euro is weak and CAD was strong, you would have a downtrend. It's that simple, guys, I'm telling you. There's nothing really here that I would take. That's still a bit of a shitty trade. I'd like to see it come back down and retest. I could probably say this area here, actually. Retest there. Bish, bash, bosh. But, yeah, it's not nice. Euro CHF. Candles are below the 200 EMA. Predominantly, it's always a downtrend, right? So we're looking for sells, really. Area to sell from. I would like to, there's two areas here. It's potentially either going to come here, right? So you could sell from here. Or if it comes a little bit higher for a quick wee liquidity grab, boom. These are the two potential areas I'm looking for sells, right? Bish, bash, bosh. Bish, right? Fuck off. Bish, bash, bosh, right? That's it. I know they're green, I can't be bothered changing them to red. But you get the point. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this and make it red. So I know that I'm looking for sales here. There's nothing to trade there, nothing to trade there, so I can take them off. Euro, Japanese yen, I'm looking for buys. You just can't buy from here. There's an area right there, I can see it. Small candle, large engulfing. Once broken, becomes the area of support. And here's another one right here. Boom. So we can mark this up. Is it in an area of value? Let's have a look. Previous low to the high. Here is, it's bang on the 618786. Beautiful. That's great value. So I'll be potentially looking for that as well, right? Bish, bash, bosh. Right? So let's see what happens. Euro NZD. Nah, that's shitty. I wouldn't take that. Euro USD or Japanese yen. Wait, I better make that green. Euro USD. I mean, it's not really doing much. I would potentially be looking. I can't even say buys or sells. Are two neck and neck, so I'm going to ignore that. GBP AUD. Now we need to wait and see. Look, the previous support, once broken, becomes the new resistance. So we could be potentially looking at sells here, guys, because Aussie is a little bit strong, and GBP is getting weak. So we could be looking for sells here. Let's just wait and see. No real bias. GBP CAD, definitely looking for buys. Look, here's the base rejection area, right? Liquidity grab, right? So this is a horrible range right now. For me personally, I would be there. It has to kind of break out that range for me, come back, retest, and then go. And this would be my entry here, right? So it has to kind of do that for me before I would take the trade. Sometimes you don't get the retest, guys, and you just yelled, I just fucking missed the trade. Yeah, who cares? You know, just move on. GBP CHF, I'm going to make that, hold on, make that buys. GBP CHF, I would be looking for sells, so let's mark, you've got this area here. Let's also mark this area here. Boom. Potentially selling it from here. GJ, I'm really looking for buys. You can't buy it from here, guys. Look, you're buying into an all-time high. You can't buy it. You need it to pull back here, and if it doesn't, it's just too strong. You need it to break above, retest, enter on the retest, and then go, right? Unless you're a scalp trader, you can take it as it breaks, but I'm not a scalp trader. GBP NZD, yeah, fuck all there. So we can turn that off. GBP USD, yeah, potentially buys. Just need to wait and see. Like this. So look, if we move this down, it's already done that part, right? We need it to break above here now, come back for the retest. Sorry. It's already done this part, look. Boom, 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 boom. Now we need it to break away, retest, and then go, right? That's what we're waiting for. NZD CAD. There's fuck all there, guys. Look, both of them are shit economies. NZD CHF. I'd be looking to sell that, so I'd be looking for an area to sell from. I would just go with this here. I'm not just. I know it looks like I'm just plucking this out my arse, guys. I don't need to use these tools anymore. I already know my areas, just through time on the charts. Right, fuck all there. Excuse me. USD CAD. Yeah, it's definitely buys, but you need a pullback before it can go, right? USD CHF. Nothing really there. USD Japanese yen. Definitely buys. There it is there. I can see it. Potentially here or here. You could do both of these, but I'll do this one. Boom. Alright. Bish, bash, bosh. Could potentially come down to this area here, but let's see. That's really it, guys. Gold. Let's have a quick look at gold. Yeah, gold's a bit wishy-washy just now. Silver, wishy-washy. Copper, wishy-washy. Right, so there's nothing really there. Okay. If you wish for mentorship, not just videos, you can feel free to come across, join our trading mentorship. You will find the links. Where are we? Should be below here. There we go. Look, if you want to come and join our mentorship, this is the ways below here. I have now updated the Google Docs. So if you want like free trading rules, free fundamental course cheat sheet, I'm pretty sure that's the new one that I've just updated. Prime Market Terminal if you want to use that, or if you want to join us. This is our A book broker. We don't use a scumbag B book broker. We use an A book broker. And we've worked with them for years. They also give a broker bonus. So if you deposit $5,000, they will double it on your first deposit, and you'll be able to trade with 10. If you deposit 10 grand, they will double it, and you'll be able to trade with 20. However, if you lose your initial deposit, of course, you do not get to keep trading their extra $5,000 or their extra 10 grand. They'll take away the whole lot, right? But if you keep trading well, then essentially you will continue to trade using double the funds, which is fucking fantastic, right? And this is our trading academy here, which is this right here, guys. All right. There we go. Look. I've got tons of guys smashing it in here. Between my business partner Lee, he teaches you guys scalp trading, and I teach you guys swing trading, so you have the kind of best of both worlds. Okay, so look, we've been going on for 50 minutes now. I try and keep them as short as possible, but I'm trying to give you as much information as possible, so you don't have to go away and spend 500 quid on courses, $5,000 on fucking mentorship here, there, and everywhere when you don't really need it. All right. If you want mentorship, then you can come and join us. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. I'm Ryan Mack. This is the trading, guys. Don't, have a great week. Don't over risk. Don't over trade. Don't get fucking FOMO. If you look on the charts and charts are shitty, don't just try and chase a trade which isn't there. If you see a trade, happy fucking days, take it. If you don't see a trade, turn your computer off and go and fucking walk away. Okay? Much love. See you later.